Speaker, Salma Zeman. I am knitting, Salma Zeman.
I am knitting. I am knitting. That was the answer that my mom gave me since I was a child when I asked her, "What are you doing, Mom?" She said, "I'm knitting." Once, when I was 7 years old, I came to her and said, "Please, Mom, I saw a very nice pullover. Can you show me how to knit such a pullover?" She was very pleased and happy. I said, "Yes, of course, my daughter. Stay near me and I will show you. All what you need are 2 needles and a yarn. First, you make some stitches on the empty needle." I said, "Wow, that's exciting. What's next?" She said, "The same thing. You make new stitches on the empty needle until it becomes full and the full becomes empty." I said, "Okay." And then she said the same thing. New stitches on the empty needle until it becomes full and the full becomes empty. And I repeated my question every time, "What's next? What's next?" And always there was the same answer. Until I became disappointed and I said, "What a boring job. That's all. Just doing the same thing every time." She angrily looked at me and said, "That's the only way to knit the pullover you want. You are not just doing the same thing. You are knitting." Madam fellow Toastmasters, that was the first time when I realized the meaning and the importance of constancy, of doing the same thing every time. Yes, doing the same thing every time is the basis of building big things. In another hand, doing the same thing every time doesn't mean doing trivial or non-important things. It lets you achieve important goals. That's what I tried to forward as a message to my friend Asma. Asma, who is also an IT engineer, a wife, and the mother of a child, met me one day sad and upset. When I asked her, "What's the matter with you, Asma?" she burst into tears and said, I can't stand my life. I don't appreciate what am I doing in my work and in my family. Always the same tasks. What I did yesterday, I do it today, and I will do it tomorrow. I am bored. I am just doing the same thing every time. I let her until she calmed down, and I said, "No, dear Asma, you are not just doing the same thing. You are knitting. Not knitting a pullover, but you are knitting your future and the future of other people. In your work, you are knitting your experience and your career. And in your family, you are knitting the future of someone else. Look at your son. When you have done what you did yesterday, your son was just a baby. And when you are doing it today, your son is a teenager. And when you will do it tomorrow, your son will become a man. You are not just doing the same thing. You are achieving important goals. You are knitting. What about you, fellow Toastmasters? Aren't you concerned by this concept of constancy, of doing the same thing every time? I am sure you are. Yes, because in the community of Toastmasters, we can discover that there is a third advantage of constancy. Besides building big things and achieving important goals, there is improving ourselves and our skills. To make clear this idea, let us imagine the situation. Suppose that there is someone outside the community of Toastmasters who makes you a comment and says, "What? You are holding the same meeting every week or 2 weeks with the same structure, prepared speeches, improvisation, and evaluation part? It's a boring activity. You are just doing the same thing. Aren't you bored?" What would be your answer, fellow Toastmasters? I can guess the answer because I'm also a Toastmaster. I am sure that you are convinced you are not just doing the same thing. You are improving yourselves and your skills. By delivering speeches from time to time, you are improving a higher level in public speaking. By improvising, you are improving your language. And by taking roles in those same meetings, you are improving your leadership and your self-confidence. You are not just doing the same thing. You are knitting. You are knitting a better version of yourselves. Me too, as a Toastmaster. I am not the same as yesterday, and I will not be the same, sure, tomorrow. I am with doing the same thing every time. I have built many things. I have achieved many goals, and I am improving myself. For that, please allow me to return with all gratitude to my mom, to tell her, "Thank you, Mom. You were right. I am not just doing the same thing. I am." Back to you, Madam Contestant.
Thank you, Salma.